Hello, hello. Welcome to In the Car with Tyler for a requel pitch. That's right. This one is brought to you by me, Tyler, and Solomon, who's not here, but he helped me come up with this pitch. That's right. The great and powerful Solomon. So we went and saw Nobody 2. And Solomon had not seen the first one, but saw the trailer and was like, oh, I'd see that. And it was his first R rated film in a theater, and we had a blast. And on the drive home, Solomon was like, all right, we were talking about the movie, and he goes, Dad, what would you do for the third film? And I'm like, well, we got to do something a little different. I'm like, I showed him clips and stuff from the first movie. We talked about it. We talked about how you have to do something different to establish, just the differences in the characters and everything. And he's like, yeah, okay, I got you, Dad. Um, so we were talking, we came up with a pitch. And the pitch idea is as the first movie, written by the guy who wrote John Wick and has some Wickisms, we're going to borrow from another action franchise for the third film. The third film starts a couple years later, and basically, Brady is getting married. Opening scene is Brady getting married. And Brady and his new wife are going to go honeymoon, let's say in Japan. They go to Japan, and remember, Brady's got a little bit of a temper like his dad. And so they're in Japan, and while in Japan, Brady runs his mouth off at the wrong person, causing some issues, and gets beat up, and his wife gets taken by the Yakuza, or some form of the Yakuza. Okay. And Hutch and them, of course, get word that Brady's in trouble, and they go to Japan, and now we're kind of Hutch is in a foreign country, a little bit out of his element, doesn't really have the support of anyone. Not that he's ever had really the support of anyone but his family in the first place. But the difference is now Hutch is trying to figure out who took his new daughter-in-law and why. Christopher Lloyd would return, and uh, he he would end up dying in the third act. Sorry, just got to have some stakes and got to have some change. But he goes out in a blaze of glory saving his family. RZA would be back, and we'd explore a little bit about his journey, to Japan and stuff that we saw in the second one. We would also get a really cool action scene of Brady helping his dad in some sort. So we're kind of borrowing a little bit from Taken with the idea of she's been taken, uh, and Hutch has to defend his family. That's a little bit different than what we've seen Hutch do the past two films. So that is the quick pitch for Nobody 3. I hope you like it. I hope you have any comments, whatever. Let me know. If you saw Nobody 2, what did you think? I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Um, and a pitch for a little bit of an original idea here. We're going to dot this, as we know that the guys who make these films just kind of flip the script formula right here. I thought Love Hurts was a good, fun action film. I love Kiwai Kwang, however you say his name. I apologize. I think it could have made it a little bit different about the story about Valentine's Day and not have as much about his past with his brother and made it just more of a romantic type thing, almost like a Romeo and Juliet, two sides kind of thing. Uh, I don't think they should have focused on that relationship more. But they keep finding ways to do the same kind of formula of the unexpected action hero. And all I gotta say is, guys, you're missing one. Where's the slightly overweight person, okay, who happens to be a badass who can fight and that no one sees? We got the skinny, nerdy guy who happens to be Asian. We have the middle-aged, normal dad, boring desk clerk who happens to be a badass. Okay, we got John Wick, just unassuming Keanu Reeves, who's a badass. Uh, Brad Pitt in Bullet Train, who ended up being a badass. Um, where's the overweight guy? No one suspects the fat guy to really be awesome. So, where's the guy who used to be in shape who got a little heavyweight and can fight? There's my pitch for something right there. Just remix the formula of the movies I just mentioned. Love Hurts, Nobody, John Wick. Just remix those three. Throw with an overweight guy. I have not watched Atomic Blonde. It never looked appealing, but I probably should because I like the people who made it. Or over a little bit of an overweight woman. We always put down obese women, and I have my own problems with the way that Hollywood and people objectify women's bodies. Perfect example. Saw Only Murders in the Building season 4. Thought Selena Gomez looked perfectly great. Seeing her now in the preview for 5, she's lost more weight. She's back to looking scary, unhealthy, too thin. Just saying, like, you gotta stop this crap, all right? All right, pitch done.